Here's the number one sign to look for in a man if you want a relationship that actually lasts. He can be angry, genuinely angry, and still treat you like the woman he loves. Not calm, not perfect, just respectful, even in the heat of it. Because here's what nobody tells you. Conflict isn't the problem. How he handles conflict is the real test. A man who can't handle conflict does something specific. He starts putting words in your mouth. He makes wild comparisons. He argues against things you never even said. At that point, he's not fighting with you anymore. He's fighting the story he invented in his own head. Psychologists call this deflection, and it's just as damaging as name-calling because it tells you he'd rather attack a fictional version of you than sit with what you actually said. Contrast that with a man who stays in the real conversation even when it's uncomfortable. That's not because he's calmer by nature, it's because he has what psychologists call ego strength, the capacity to feel challenged without collapsing into defensiveness or attack. That's who you can go the distance with, not someone who never gets triggered, but someone who can be triggered and still stay present with you. And then there's the other kind, the one who melts down, distorts what you said, drags out comparisons just to win the argument. That's not a grown man defending himself. That's someone reacting to his own unhealed stuff and using your words as the excuse. Here's the psychological pattern worth remembering. A person who cannot tolerate being wrong will always find a way to make you the reason they're upset. It's called externalizing, and it protects their ego at the cost of your reality. So if you're evaluating a relationship, don't watch for the absence of conflict. Watch for what happens inside it. Does he stay in the room with what you actually said, or does he build a version of you that's easier to fight? Because you can build a life with someone who gets angry. What you can't build a life with is someone who punishes you for triggering what he never healed.